Week 12 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few guards I would look to buy low and trade for this week. The first guy's Jamal Murray of the Memphis Grizzlies. So Murray this season, we know he got hurt early in the year with that high ankle sprain, but he came back. But this season, it just seems like the big games haven't been all there like it was last season in his Rookie of the Year campaign victory. On the season, he's ranked 65th as Murray. 19.4 points a game, 3.3 rebounds, 7.6 assists, a steal, 4.8 free throws a game he's hitting, and 44% from the field. So Jamal Murray in the last couple weeks, his ranking's number 98 in this time, 16.5 points a game, 3 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and 36% from the field. So Murray, he's in a shooting slump. He's not shooting the ball at a great pace or scoring a lot of points right now. Is Murray. But Murray, we know he's one of the best young guards in all the NBA. And it's just a slump right now, coming off a long All-Star break, I believe. And I believe Murray, he'll bounce back and play well the last 3 games for him. March 14th at the Thunder, 22 points, 1 rebound, 7 assists, and a steal and a 3. March 15th at Phoenix, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. And then last night versus the Miami Heat, only 13 points. 4 rebounds, 6 assists from Murray, and only 33% from the field, so the numbers are down. The assist numbers, they're pretty decent still, but as far as scoring the basketball and shooting percentage, he's way down right now, and I think you could get him on a little bit of the cheap because a lot of owners took him in the 2nd or 3rd round of their fantasy drafts, and right now he's not putting up those type of numbers, so go out there and try to get Murray before he gets back on track. The next play is Jamal Murray of the Denver Nuggets. And Jamal Murray, another player like Jamal Murray, he's been up and down this season with some huge performances where he had a 50-point game and then some games where it's a basic 15, 16-point game for Jamal Murray. On the season, he's ranked 42 in fantasy basketball, 20.7 points a game, 4.1 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 1.2 steals, 2.6 threes a game, 84% from the foul line, and 47% from the field. But the last few weeks, he's ranked number 92 in this time with only 12 points a game, 3.3 rebounds, 5.8 assists, 1.8 steals, 2.5 threes a game, and an awful 34% from the field. So Jamal Murray, he's just in a slump right now. He's still getting to the foul line and scoring his points at a decent rate, but the shooting percentage is down, the points per game are down, and last season in the bubble, maybe my expectations were too high for Murray because he was having some crazy games, over 50 points and stuff throughout the playoffs, but this season, he's only had a couple big explosive games under his belt, and the last 3 games for Murray, March 13th versus Dallas, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and 1 3, 30% from the field. March 15th versus the Indiana Pacers, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 threes. And then last night versus the Charlotte Hornets, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and he did hit 5 threes. So that's an encouraging sign for Murray, hitting those 3-pointers and having the 4 steals. But besides that, he's been putting up basic numbers, and the numbers and percentages has gone down, and right now is a good time, in my opinion, to buy him low. The next guard is Devontae Graham of the Charlotte Hornets. So Graham, he's been banged up for the last couple weeks, but he came back after the All-Star break, and the numbers, they haven't been the same this season for Graham. On the season, he's ranked 147 in fantasy basketball, 13.3 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 2.8 threes a game, 78% from the foul line, and an awful 36% from the field. So his numbers are down 5 points per game from last season, 2 assists per game they're down. In the last couple weeks here, Graham, he's ranked 184 with only 11 points a game, 1.3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 3 threes a game. So Graham last season, we saw huge games out of him, explosive games, and he was the comeback player of the year, I believe, last season in the NBA. But this year, with the injuries and other issues, he just hasn't got on track. Obviously, with LaMelo Ball and Terry Rozier over there, just too many guards in the backcourt for the Charlotte Hornets, and it's creating a logjam and a fantasy problem. The last few games for Graham, it's been mediocre at best. March 13th versus Toronto, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 threes. March 15th versus Sacramento, 12 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, and 4 three-pointers. And March 17th at Denver, 8 points, 1 steal, and 2 threes. So pretty much here for Devontae Graham, it's a 3-point shot made or bust. He's not getting to the foul line. He's not scoring easier buckets with layups and dunks. And he's just shooting 3 balls and putting them up and hoping they go in. So right now, while his value's low, I believe he could still break out if he's going to just stop taking 3-point shots and start driving to the hoop more and getting to the line, because that's where he was benefiting from last season. And this year, he just can't get it going, is Devontae Graham. But I think a turnaround could happen, and you could get him pretty cheap right now. The next guard's Trey Young of the Atlanta Hawks. And Trey Young, it's been a weird season for him this year from last season. Trey Young, he was a late first, early second round pick in most fantasy drafts, and on the season he's ranked 61st in fantasy basketball with 26 points a game, 4 rebounds, 9.4 assists, 2.5 threes a game, 87% from the foul line, and 42% from the field. But the last few weeks, his rankings 124 is Trey Young, 23 points a game, 2.8 rebounds, 8.8 assists, 2.5 threes, 82% from the line, and 42% from the field. So his percentages from the field aren't all that great. His points per game have dropped off the last couple games. And I just feel like Trey Young last season, he had more explosive games, bigger stat lines, and better numbers. Or maybe I'm just not feeling it this year with Trey Young. But anyway, the last couple games, March 13th versus Sacramento, 28 points, 1 rebound, 9 assists, and a steal. March 14th versus Cleveland, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists. And then a couple nights ago with Houston, 13 points, 14 rebounds, a steal, but 5 turnovers. So Trey Young, the last 2 games, his points are way down. And this guy, I know he could score the basketball with the best of them. And I have higher hopes for Trey Young the rest of the season here. And right now, while he had a couple bad scoring games, his value's down just a bit, and maybe you could get him on a buy low discount price. And I would go out there and try to pursue Young, because for this Hawk team to take the next step, it all starts with Trey Young, in my opinion. And he's been playing good, but he's not playing to the highest of levels right now, even though this Hawk team has won 6 in a row, and they're turning their season around. But I just feel like you could get Young at a discount right now. And the 5th and final guard I would look to try to trade for this week or buy low's Tyrese Halliburt of the Sacramento Kings. So this impressive rookie, it's been a pretty solid year for Halliburt. He's ranked 49th in fantasy basketball, 12.7 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 5.1 assists, 1.3 steals, 2.3 threes a game, 82% from the foul line, and 47% from the field. But the last few weeks, he might have hit the rookie wall with Halliburt, ranking 208 in this time, 8.5 points a game, 3 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1.5 threes a game, 80% from the foul line, and only 34% from the field. So Halliburt, he's definitely hitting the rookie wall, I believe. The last 3 out of 4 games have been definitely a struggle for him. And right now, if you're not in a keeper league and you're in a standard league format and not a dynasty league, this is the time to go out there and try to trade for Halliburt, because the Kings, they're out of the race. They're going to trade more veterans as the deadline approaches next week. And Halliburt, he's going to be playing his 25 to 35 minutes a game easily, in my opinion. So right now, if I could swing a trade for Halliburt, I will, and his value should be lower. March 11th versus Houston, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and a 3. March 13th at Atlanta, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 2 threes. March 15th at the Charlotte Hornets, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, a block. And then last night in Washington, it was a good bounce-back game, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 threes. So Halliburt, it's just been a slump for him. Like I said, he could be hitting the rookie wall, but who knows. But right now, while his value's down a bit, this is the time to buy him low. So that's a few guards I will look to try to trade for here in Week 12 of the fantasy basketball season.